Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. This time I have another installment of the DeAgostini Collectibles Build the Volkswagen T1 Samba Bus. I am on pack number 2. Now with pack number 2, this time I received 5 stages in the mail, and that would be stages 3 through 7. So they're all contained in the box here. We got 5 magazines and 5 parts packs. So if you haven't done so already, head over to DeAgostini Collections and subscribe to this bus today. I put a link and a promo code down below. It's a fantastic build and I'm really enjoying this one. There's a lot of cool features about this bus that other cars don't have. Plus, pay attention to the video because in stage number 6 I have to do some corrections for you. There's a little mistake with the instructions, and I correct those during that video so you can find out what they are. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to the DeAgostini Collectibles Volkswagen T1 Samba build. This time in pack 2 that I just received in the mail, I received 5 stages, stage 3 through 7. And here's stage 3, which is the bumper and rear bonnet covering the engine. Stage 4, which looks like to be the driver's door. Stage 5, which is the window for the driver's door. Stage 6, which is the interior panel for the driver's door. And lastly, stage 7, a wheel and tire. And I'm looking forward to this. One of my followers sent me pictures of his completed build. He built this a few years back when it was offered in Europe, and it's fantastic. I'll show you some pictures of it here. Okay, let's not waste any more time. Let's get started on stage 3. I'll be right back. Here's a magazine for stage 3, and it's a very nice magazine. Semi-gloss pages, very easy to read. Great articles about the Volkswagen bus. And they start off with an article with Westphalia, and then we get right into the build instructions, which we're going to be building the front bumper and engine lid. And like always, they give us a detailed view of all the parts that were included with this stage, along with a detailed diagram, which is a first here. Most of the other magazines I received for building cars don't give us the diagram, so this is very cool. And here it says we're going to be building the front bumper and engine lid, so we're going to work on the bumper first. Bumper pads there. Continuing with the pads. And we put on the license plate on the front. Start working on the back deck lid that covers our engine in the back. And here we put on the deck lid latch and the license plate. And there's our final result right there. And that's what it'll look like. Let me get the parts out and I'll be right back. Here's stage 3 parts. And you can see we have the bumper inside there and the rear deck lid and some of the pads. Very nice. None of these packs are marked with the numbers 3, 4, or 5, or 6. And the way you can tell is you go to the bar, the scan bar, and on the very last digit will tell you stage 3. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take these out and we'll get a closer look. And here's a close-up of the parts out of the pack. And I love the bumper. We'll look at the bumper parts here first. It's made of plastic. I love the cream color to it though. Very nice, shiny. It really fits the part of the bus bumper. We also received the pads for it. And these are also plastic. They have a chrome trim around them with the black rubber insert. That is very nice and impressive there. We received the front bumper license plate frame and the stickers that go on there. Now let's look at the rear deck lid. The rear deck lid, which covers our engine, and that's made of metal, and that's very impressive there. And one of the latch mechanism for it's already installed on that in that case right there. But we have the hinges that go down on it, and the hinges are made of metal, along with the license plate frame and the sticker for the back. BPO1, BDO2, and BPO2 screws. So we're going to go ahead and install these bumper inserts, and they are marked. You have a left and a right, and the markings on the back side there. And you want to make sure that they're put on the right way here. The curvature needs to match the bumper. So we're going to do the left one first, and you want it really goes on one way. So we'll go into that hole there first and insert it into the back. We're putting 2 BPO2 screws into this, and we don't want to screw it in too tight. That's 1. Now we'll go ahead and put in the right side, and you want to make sure it's matches with the alignment pin. There's an alignment pin that goes into this slot here, and it only goes in one way. And there we go. 2 more BPO2 screws go in. And that looks great there. Perfect. Next we'll put on our license plate. And that simply just goes down just like that. And once again, BPO2 screws goes into this. And that looks great there. Fantastic. I'm not going to put the sticker on just now. I'm going to hold off until a little bit later, but that's how the bumper looks. Let's go ahead and do the deck lid next. Next is the deck lid, And that looks very nice there. We're going to put the license plate frame onto it, and that just simply goes on, snaps in. And BPO1 screws go into this, and these are very small chrome screws. And going in very easy, looks nice. And that looks great there. Okay, like I said, I'll put the sticker on a little bit later, but that looks good. Now we're going to put the hinges on. Now the hinges, they just go down like that. Okay. And to help my screws to go in a little easier, I'm going to lubricate those holes with my Vaseline. And put that back on it again. BDO2 screws go into this, 2 of them. And last one here. That looks good there. That's what your hinges look like. And I'll be right back. And that completes stage 3, where we assembled the front bumper and the rear deck lid. And that looks fantastic. I'm going to put the stickers on a little bit later. I'm going to put them in safekeeping and put them away. Now let's go ahead and build stage 4. And welcome back to the Samba build. This time we're going to assemble stage 4. Stage 4, we're going to assemble the left front door, and that's this right here. So we'll look at the build instructions here first. Right away they give you a list of all the parts that are included with stage 4, which is the left front door. And we do get a very nice diagram for this. We start off right away building the hinges on the door, and these doors are designed to work just like the real car, so the door handles are functional in this case. So we start assembling the door handles. We're going to need to use some tape here and spring-loaded parts and all the interior components for allowing that door handle to work. And you can see that there. It's pretty cool. Super excited. This is the first car that I've been building that has a functional door handle. Continuing on with that, and that completes the left front door. Looks great. Let me get the parts out and I'll be right back. Here's the left front door parts. They look good. I'll take these out and we'll get a closer look. Alright, here's a close-up of those parts. Right away, let's look at the door, and it is made out of metal. And that's very nice there. Very nice red finish that's on this. Here's the back side. So we're going to be working on the back side with this build. I'm going to put a washcloth down to protect it so we don't scuff up the paint. But we have all the components here for the door handle, including a spring and the door hinge. BD03 screws. Let's get started. Here's the left front door. I'm going to go ahead and install the hinge for it. We'll turn it over, and it's going to line up just like that. And I already lubricated the holes because we're putting screws in the metal. Just makes the screws go in a lot easier. BD03 screws go into this. Definitely helps with the Vaseline, and that looks good there. Don't forget, you're going to need a little bit of tape here for the next step. We're going to put the handle on next. Now the handle is going to slide in. This is just like a regular Volkswagen handle, same as I have on my Bug, and that's just going to slide in just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and tape it. tape that down, turn it over. Now we have a pin. Can you all see that pin? Very small. That pin needs to slide into this next. I'm going to use my fingers because I don't want tweezers to make it go flying off into oblivion. Okay, went in very easy, and you can just see that there. Next, I'm going to go ahead and install this plastic bracket here, and it has an alignment pin that matches that, and then a screw mount hole on the other side, and that's going to keep the pin in there. It keeps us from losing the pin. So just like that, you can see BD03 screw goes into this, and that's going to lock that pin in. There you go. It's locked in on top from a little bracket there, and then this is holding the bottom in. So that's great. Now we'll get our rod and our spring, and that's going to go just like that. This is going to slide into there and sit on that, just like that, very briefly. And we're going to put our bracket down on here. Now we want to make sure our spring is not trapped underneath this bracket, so we'll move that out of the way. I am holding everything still, and we'll put our BD03 screw into that to hold it down. Perfect. That looks great. Okay, I'm going to take the tape off, and the way Volkswagen door handles work is you pull out on them, and that's just enough to actuate it. Looks good. All right, and that's all we do for stage 4. That was fun, and like I said, this is the first time I ever put in a workable door handle on a door. I'm super excited about that. So let's move on. Let's go on to stage 5. And welcome back to stage 5 of the Volkswagen T1 Samba by DeAgostini Collectibles. We're going to be on stage 5. We're going to continue with the left driver's door. Let's look at the instructions. Here's the step-by-step instructions for the left front door window, and here's all the parts that are included with this stage. And here's the diagram. Very nice. First of all, we're going to install the door hinge for that upper part. 2 screws go into that, and then the chrome trim for that. Very nice there. Tell us to make sure we press firmly on the trim so it stays in place. Then we're going to mount that on the left door component that we just assembled in stage 4. And we put 4 screws into this. Very cool here because they show us that our front window is functional. It slides back and forth. That's very nice. And that will be it. That's all we do for stage 5. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 5. Very nice there. I'll take these out. We'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. This is very cool. The upper part of the door. This is made of plastic, but like they were saying, this door window does slide open and close. That's very cool, and very nice there. Here's the back side of it. Swing window also opens and closes, and makes that very nice too. Wow. And here's our little trim piece, and this is cool here because look at the red trim in the middle. That is super nice. It's made of plastic. We have our metal hinge, and BDO3 and BPO3 screws. Let's get started. Step 1, we install the hinge on this upper door area. So we need to turn this over. I did put a cloth down to protect the finish. Even though this is plastic, it should be harmless to it, but we're going to be mounting this to the door eventually. So that's just going to match up right there. And we'll put in BPO3 screws. And I just want to get them both started. And with these screws, you don't want to over tighten them because you're going into plastic. Just until they're snug. Very good. And that's how that looks there. Looks good. Now we're going to put our trim on. Now we want to be very careful with this trim because it is made of plastic and it could be fragile. So we're going to make sure all the holes line up with this, and it should snap down. There we go, 4 snaps and it's in. That is very impressive. Bring over the bottom of the door. Turn this over. We're going to mount this to the door now. And that's simply just going to go down just like that. Put in 4 BDO3 screws. And there's the first one. Let's look at the other side. That's impressive. All right, let's put in the other 3 and the last one. I didn't have to use any grease on these. They went in very easily. Just make sure they're all tight, which they are. Very nice there. And like they were saying, we can open and close that window and the swing window. Okay, I'll be right back. And that completes stage 5. This is fantastic and looking very cool. I'm very pleased with this door. So we're going to be putting on the inside workings of the door next. So let's go to stage 6. And welcome back to stage 6 of the build, the Volkswagen T1 Samba bus from DeAgostini Collectibles. And let's go ahead and look at the build instructions for this. And here's all the parts included for that. And here's the diagram for that. Very nice. First thing we do is we install the interior trim panel that goes on top. It's a beige colored panel also. I'm going to screw that down. And that's how it will look when it's done. Then we'll go ahead and mount that to the door. And looks like it squeezes together there. Make sure you squeeze it together tight enough to where everything is flush here. And then we put in our screws. We put in 4 screws to hold it down. And that's what it will look like. Let me get these parts out and I'll be right back. Here's parts pack for stage 6. Very nice. Let me take these out and we'll get a closer look at them. And here's our parts. Everything here is plastic. This is the lower door panel, interior door panel, and that looks very nice there. And the upper trim panel, which has been airbrushed in that beige color or the off-white. And 2 different types of screws. BDO3 and BPO3. Let's get started. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the interior trim panel on the interior panel here, door panel. We'll turn that over and we'll put the trim panel on. It simply just slots in one way onto these 2 notches. Now the instructions tell you to use the BDO3 screws, and that's incorrect. It should be the BP Remember, D stands for die cast, so those screws are designed to go into metal, and the P stands for plastic, and so that tells you those screws should be going into plastic. So we're using the BP03 screws. So just a little issue with the instructions, but that's okay. Got that figured out. 2 of them. And once again, the BP03 screws. Don't over tighten them. That's good. Now we'll go ahead and bring the door over, and we're going to mount this onto the door, being very careful that everything lines up like it should, and it's pressed fit and lined up like it should be. There we go. The instructions once again tell you to put the BP03 screws in, but P is for plastic. We're going into metal here, so BD03 screws. Besides that, the amount of screws you're given dictate that they are BDO screws. D stands for die cast, are going into metal. And I didn't have to lubricate these. They went in very easily. And that looks great. Okay, I'll be right back. And that's all we do for stage 6. We fully assembled the left front door, and I think it's very cool that the windows open and close, and the little vent window, swing window, opens and closes. Typical Volkswagen, right? We have that. I love it. So the only issue we had with this was the instructions telling you to use the wrong type of screws. Remember, the BD go for die cast. D for die cast, metal. Those screws are designed to go into metal, but they're designed to cut into the metal. And then you have the BP, and those screws aren't designed to cut into metal. They're designed just to go into plastic. So P for plastic. But let's go ahead and go to the final stage for pack 2. Stage 7, we're going to assemble the right front wheel and tire. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the DeAgostini Collectibles. Build the Volkswagen T1 Samba bus. Now we are on the final stage. This is stage 7, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. So we're going to assemble a wheel and tire here with this stage. So we're going to be needing some boiled water to do that. That's just the process you have to use for these. So here's your right front wheel and tire that came with this stage. Here's the diagram, and first thing they do is show you what the parts look like. Go ahead, you can either use a hair dryer, or you can use I have had success with boiling water, so I'm going to put the tire in some boiling water downstairs in my kitchen, and then it just slides right on with ease. And this is pretty cool. Here, I'll give you a closer look. So you can see here it gives the tire in detail, the tire size, the lead weight, tire brand name, the lug bolts, and the air valve. So that's pretty nice there. The tire would be a 175/80 by 15. And then, of course, showing you everything dealing with the tire, the edges of the tire, what goes on there. Make sure the edges are positioned correctly on the outside of the rim as shown. And same thing, make sure it's positioned correctly on the inside rim of the tire, just like shown. And it should roll nice and neat. Very cool there. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. And here's the parts pack for stage 7. I'll go ahead and take these out and we'll get a closer look. And here's the wheel itself, and it's made out of metal. Very nice color, just to match the Volkswagen. And like they pointed out, the lead weight, the lug nuts, the tire valve, very cool there. Here's the tire itself, and it's a Continental tire. Nice tread pattern. So that's very cool. Okay, I'm going to take this downstairs. I'm going to boil it in hot water, wrap it in aluminum foil. I'll bring it back up, and then we'll install this. So I'll be right back. So I need to heat up the tire here. Please use caution when you do this. Drop the tire in there, probably for a couple minutes. It's not going to take much for it to become very pliable so we can get it over the rim. Okay, I'm going to remove it, put it on some foil. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So we'll go ahead and unwrap this. And very pliable now. So we'll just put that on. Squeezing everything together, making sure it's on the rim like it should be, which it is. And that looks great there. Fantastic. I'll be right back. And that completes stage 7, the final stage for pack 2. I think it looks fantastic. So let me go ahead and get all the parts out that we've completed in this build, and we'll show you those. I'll be right back. Here's what we've completed, everything from pack 2, and of course the front bumper there, the driver's front door, the rear deck lid, and one of the wheels and tires, right front wheel and tire. And then from pack 1 we completed the front of the bus and another wheel and tire. Fantastic. Head over to DeAgostini Collectibles and subscribe to this Volkswagen bus. It's fantastic, and first time it's been available to us US subscribers. I think it's fantastic to have it available. I did put a link and a promo code down below, so go ahead and use that link and the promo code, and they'll get you all set up with your subscription. I'm not very far along in this build, so you can go ahead and follow along with me. And as we found out, the wrong types of screws were used for this door by the instructions, so if you follow what I did, you should be just fine there. So if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. That helps out a whole lot. And please comment below. I could use as many comments, or you have any questions about this build or about these cars, please comment below on that. And also hit the bell for all video upload future notifications. And give me a thumbs up. That helps too. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, I appreciate your subscription. So with that, happy modeling everybody, and take care.